What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Radiovania, episode number 21. We legal.
We are legal.
Your nerdy public radio for all things entertainment and pop culture. My name is Zach Rotello. Sitting across from me is John Swansong Parker. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, you looking festive, islandy. I like the chest hair is just barely peeking up.
Trying to stay cool. It's hot.
Hold on a second. How many buttons are on this shirt? Give me a count. Give me a head count.
You want the spares included?
Everything. I want all... Well, no. Just... What the kind of question is that? Just give me the... Six buttons, and you are...
3.
There are 3 unbuttoned, ladies and gentlemen. He's off the rails. Last week,
crazy hands.
We had a hell of a show last week. You and me talked about burping and God blessing yous, and that's one of the funniest shows we've ever done. And sitting across from me to my left is Michael. He always pays his debts, Richard. How you doing, man?
What's going on? Good to be here for another special appearance.
Yeah, seriously, his appearances are rare. It's like...
It depends. If he's the studio audience, it's pretty frequent.
Yeah,
right. I spend a lot of time in the studio audience.
He's now the third most reoccurring person.
There we go. Pulling ahead of Connor. I like it.
Yeah. John Larson way in the back.
Yep.
Way in last place.
Trailing at 1.
Yeah, so if you've never listened to an episode of Radiovania before, the concept is very, very simple. We sit around and we talk about, the news of the week, what's going on in pop culture and sports and... whatever, entertainment
sports,
in general.
Once. It's like
3 or 4 times.
It's like Haley's Comet.
We've gone over this before. We've talked about Tom Brady. We've talked about...
Tom Brady.
NBA
2K, the video game.
We did talk about NBA 2K. That's still sports. We got a great show for you this week. It's going to be really news-heavy, but there's a lot of Justice League and Star Wars stuff to talk about, as well as the reappearance of Comic Book Shop. And... I liked the segment last week. It was fun to edit, mainly because I got to re-listen to everything John said twice, which is cool. Without further ado, why don't we jump into this thing, because we're going to go get, what are they called, fat bitches?
Well, when you phrase it like that, it sounds like we're going picking up some fat girls. We're going to a place called PJ's.
Gonna get some
fat sandwich.
Yep.
So it starts with fat blank, and then it's a different word.
Fat witch.
Yeah, no, it's... You'll see.
They've got all kinds.
I've been there before.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like he hasn't, honestly.
Noob.
We came back. We watched the
We
feud.
have to go back.
Okay, we have to... You've been watching a lot of that Lost. How's that going?
It's good. I breezed through seasons 4 and 5 within the past 4 days. Thanks to the Columbus Clippers. Thanks, guys.
Legally binding. The views and opinions on this episode of Radiovania are not those expressed by the Clippers.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for our Lost cast. It's going to be happening in a little bit.
Yeah, probably later on this summer.
Yeah.
I still got to format the show and kind of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But
what's the thought right now?
It is tropical themed, so if you're going to be on the show, you have to wear a tropical shirt. And that's all I have so far.
I've got a Hawaiian shirt ready for the occasion.
Perfect.
No, I have a couple things lined up I'm pretty excited about. I think we're going to have a good time.
I was thinking about
probably
this.
have a couple drinks with that one.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I was thinking we should also incorporate sound bits into it, maybe.
Yes.
Have some audio from the show, maybe some clips.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one to edit. But
maybe like a live document of a scene or something.
But one of the things also is I've been thinking about it too while you've been talking about Lost to me in text messages. I've been thinking about going back and rewatching the show. But then I remember
it takes so long.
It takes a long time. Even if I was super committed. But that Lost.
I'd get you a short list of stuff to watch.
I honestly might go through YouTube. I think there's some YouTube things where it's the recaps of every season. I might just watch that. They have
things that's Lost in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Check that dish out.
Check that dish out.
Yeah. Wow, that was gross. Bless you.
Thank you. First news story, we're going to jump right into the Hot Topics list. From Kotaku.com says, Burger King thinks Mac-N-Cheetos is something you might eat. This comes from Mike Fahey on Wednesday. It says Burger King is out of control and doesn't care who it hurts. Being tested in select markets and soon rolling out nationwide, Mac-N-Cheetos are deep-fried macaroni and cheese sticks with Cheetos breading. To put it in old, worn-out meme terms, they heard you like cheese, so they put cheese in their cheese. Also macaroni, whatever. They're basically Burger King's answer to Taco Bell's Doritos Locos Tacos, born of a partnership between BK and Frito-Lay. Unlike the Doritos Locos Tacos, which have become a mainstay of Taco Bell's menu, the Mac-N-Cheetos are a limited release, lasting 8 weeks or while supplies last. What is that
Oceanic
sound?
Flight 815.
Yeah,
it's the North Koreans coming in.
It's Red Dawn.
It's Red
It's
Dawn.
happening. So what? How does this strike you? How do you guys feel about Mac-N-Cheetos?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to take the opposite.
Oh yeah, me 100%. I'm going to try these.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned Doritos Locos Tacos, and those came out. I was a non-believer.
These are the same people that sell chicken rings. I don't know the last time you saw a chicken.
Chicken rings are White Castle, actually. So you're already showing
Burger King.
Chicken
White
fries.
Castle sucks.
Burger
No,
King
they
is chicken
have
fries.
chicken rings there.
That sounds delicious.
White Castle
No,
sucks.
it's the chicken.
White Castle's
chicken
great.
is
It's
not
another matter for
naturally
another
in
time.
the form of a ring.
No, this is a matter for right now. Why you like
Here's
White
the thing.
Castle?
Here's the thing. Oh, I love White Castle.
Oh my God.
I like
Absolutely.
Crystal.
I'll tell you what.
better.
I get White Castle once a year. I'm not like the guy that goes
Yeah,
to White
because you're
Castle
sick
once
for
a
the
week.
whole rest of the year.
But yeah, you get it once a year and it's delicious.
What do you get? What's your White Castle order?
I'll go and I
5
get
sliders.
I think it's number 1, and it's the 4 sliders.
4 sliders.
With fries, and then I'll usually get a couple chicken sandwiches as well. Just because you're going once a year, so might as well eat your
fat.
3,000 calories.
Yeah, oh
when
yeah.
you're
All
there.
at
Yeah.
once? You get all that at
All
once?
at once, yeah. I'm a
My
little
God.
guy. I eat a lot.
You gotta get that crave case.
My God. All right,
Slow
so
down.
Mac-N-Cheetos bites.
Yes.
I'm down.
I'm thumbs down.
The
absolutely.
picture that they show
They
looks.
look delicious. They look like
it's ridiculous.
if you haven't seen them, they look like the Cheeto Puffs.
I
but
can't.
with mac and
I
cheese
can't
inside
bash
of
it
them.
because this looks like something that would be on a PJ sandwich that we're gonna
Right,
eat for
exactly.
dinner, so. But it looks like it. I don't know if it's gonna make it.
Mac-N-Cheetos go live nationwide on June 27th. So mark it on your calendar. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll go get some.
Next up from the Hollywood Reporter says Kanye West appears with naked Taylor Swift, Donald Trump, and Bill Cosby in the famous video. The artist's risque music video stars versions of Trump, Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, and more celebrities in bed together. I'm not going to read the rest of the article. I watched the video. Did you watch the video?
I watched the video.
Did you watch
Yep.
the video? What did you guys think?
Hated it.
That might be the worst music video I've ever seen.
That
in my
might
life.
be the most atrocious thing that's happened to pop culture in a long time. Which is a bummer because I used to like that song.
Yeah, me too.
I can't say it was unexpected. Like, it's Kanye. Like, watching it was bad, but it was.
I mean, just why
It was
does he
like,
keep
this is-
dragging people down with him that don't want anything to do with him? And it's just
This
he
music
stops the song halfway through, and then it's just like it looks like it's in Sinister. Have you seen the horror movie Sinister?
No.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it
It's
looked
freaky.
like
It's
it was.
stupid.
It's shot poorly. I'll
Yeah.
give him one thing: that whatever
Whoever die-cat or like
Yeah,
molded
whatever-
those
yeah.
great job.
Whatever
You got a
wax
career in the,
figurines or whatever
in the,
they
the
use.
Wax Hall of Fame.
Yeah, whatever wax figures they used was incredible. But that video is a headline. That video was made for no other reason than for people on Twitter to say,
What the hell?
"Did you
going
see
on?
Kanye West make a video with all these naked celebrities?" And it's like, then he comes out with all these tweets where he's like, "I beg anyone to sue me," right? And it's just like, Kanye, what are you doing? Go back to graduation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Go back to the good life.
I missed the Kanye. From the Hollywood Reporter, Game of Thrones stars score hefty pay raises for season 8. This is our one and only Game of Thrones story tonight. The season finale is tonight. Without spoilers for those who may have not seen, I'm loving this season.
Yeah,
Can't get enough.
it's
I'm
good.
I'm
Excellent.
actually sad that it's over.
Yeah, I got to
but
call it my favorite so far.
It's
Yeah,
starting
I
to get
agree.
really good, and I don't want it to be done and have to wait for another year.
I agree. Usually I don't agree with the whole mantra of people saying, "Oh, give it a couple seasons, it gets better." I think that's bullshit. I hate it when people say that because it's like, no. I'm not pushing through crap to get to good stuff. Now, the first 3 or 4 seasons of Game of Thrones aren't crap, but I do think last season you kind of have to push through that to get to this season.
It was a setup.
I
for this
think
season.
1 through 4 and 6 are excellent seasons, and 5 was not as good at all.
No,
Yeah.
5 was not,
No,
I'm
Five,
not a fan.
five has some of the best Peter Dinklage in it, though,
That's
which is
very
unfortunate
true.
because
Yeah.
that is the one thing about the season I don't like is that his time has been cut significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Peter Dinklage is the man. But
Let's get him on the show.
HBO is now sharing Game of Thrones' wealth with the cast. The stars of the Emmy-winning drama are in line to receive hefty salary raises for the likely 8th and potentially final season of this fantasy drama based on the books. Due to score sizable pay bumps are leads Peter Dinklage, Kit Harington, Lena Headey, Emilia Clarke, and Nikolai Coster-Waldau is how you pronounce that name, right?
I think he's
Yeah.
Waldo.
Waldo.
Like, where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
Okay, so they
He's right there.
they effectively just told us that Jamie and Cersei are
In season 8.
not going to die in this last episode.
We'll see.
Unless they're ghosts.
They'll each
They
earn...
could take a lost route and they could die and it could be someone
true.
possessing their body. Spoilers.
Yeah, lost. They'll each earn upwards of $500,000 per episode of season 7, which has already been announced.
My gosh.
And in the likely 8th season, which is all but a formality, the raises for season 7 come as part of an option HBO had with the cast as part of their last deal, signed in October 2014, that saw the 5 stars each become among the highest paid actors on cable TV.
Wow.
Making that money.
Gotta get that money.
Do you think $500,000 an episode is worthy of their time?
For some of them. No, I'm just kidding. They're all great.
You know who they should throw $500,000 at?
The Hound.
No, Hot Pie.
Hot Pie.
Bring Hot Pie back. What's he doing? What's he been up to? He's ruling.
He and Gendry.
There's some kingdom where he's
They're
ruling.
going to take the throne at the end. He's going to be the hand of the king by the end.
That would make I would be so happy. That'd be the best thing ever.
I just don't want any more like beloved characters to die. That's what I want to happen.
Yep.
Unless it's for unless it's a specific purpose.
That's true.
Any more pointless deaths would just be...
If Podrick dies, I think I'll die with him.
I got really nervous for, no spoilers, but a certain character with a beard last episode. I was getting real nervous for that guy.
2 of them, actually.
Yeah.
I was worried for 2 of them.
Oh, that's true.
Because one's not much of a fighter. That was a good impression.
That was
I would
a good
say
impression.
so myself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Zach's trying to catch on to who I was talking about.
Another story from the Hollywood
talking,
Reporter.
Birdie.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to talk right down your asshole.
Do it. I'll pull my pants down.
Let's go!
Because it's hot in here.
Yeah, it is hot. Take that shirt off. What are you
No,
doing?
I like the unbuttoned look. I feel like a grandpa.
You look like Sully.
More like Crazy Handsome.
From the Hollywood Reporter again, box office, Finding Dory capsizes Independence Day resurgence. Pixar's Finding Dory continues to drown out the competition. The animated tentpole will have no trouble staying atop the North American box office chart in its second week, while Roland Emmerich's Independence Day resurgence is coming behind expectations. On Friday, Dory earned $23.2 million from 4,305 theaters for a projected weekend haul of $76 million. Independence Day resurgence followed with $16 million from 4,068 theaters, so 300 theaters less. It's probably going to make around $42 million this weekend. Critics be tearing that Independence Day apart, man.
Do we know the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Let's go.
37% last time I checked.
37%.
Which is actually better
33.
than BBS.
Oh, man.
33%. From Rotten Tomatoes. It's undeniably visually impressive, but like its predecessor, Independence Day Resurgence lacks enough emotional heft to support its end-of-the-world narrative stakes.
And what's the viewership rating on that?
40%.
That's horrible.
That is really bad. That's really
Goldblum couldn't save the movie. And you know what? I thought Will Smith might make an appearance as like a surprise role, and I haven't heard anything about it. So
no, he's not there.
Go with no.
He's not there. Someone put out I was going to put it in the news, but someone had an article where it specifically said that in an interview with Will Smith, he said that he didn't act in Independence Day because of Suicide Squad completely.
Good.
Which is crazy. Like, I don't know. That seems like something you're not allowed to say. But
care more about Suicide Squad. But we can't wait to go see this movie.
Oh, yeah, we're going to laugh through the whole thing.
Yeah. I need some joy.
The one thing is that, like, a few critics, especially I read a review from IGN where the guy said that Goldblum was underutilized.
So it's like Christoph Waltz in Spectre.
Yeah. Or
Bummer.
Bryan Cranston in Godzilla. Oof.
Where he was half of the trailer, then none of the movie.
Yeah. He's gonna send us back to the Stone Age. Say my name. Heisenberg.
The next story comes from reddit.com/r/PS4. And it says, from user Too Drunk to Talk, it says, fun fact, the reveal of God of War is now the most watched YouTube video based on a video game coming out of this year's E3. God of War has 9.1 million views. Battlefield 1 has 9.04 million views.
Really?
So it just surpassed it. The most watched E3 video overall is the Xbox One S reveal with 9.26 million views, but they're going based on just the games. So now its top 2 is God of War, Battlefield 1. I just thought that was a really interesting stat.
I think that's crazy. Both great games. Battlefield games and God of War games, both great, but like...
For an exclusive console game that's only on PS4, like, that's huge.
That trailer is really cool.
Oh, my God.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
You haven't watched it? Oh, it's so good.
I'm hungry.
No, just the fact that God of War, great game once again, but beats out like probably the most popular shooter of this year.
Imagine The Last of Us meets like Tormund. And that's what I would say it is.
I'd honestly say, like, this might be I think this is a good comparison, and I hope the game actually really captures this essence. But from the video, I got Last of Us cross Bloodborne.
Ooh.
Because you're close up.
Yeah.
It's not a hack and slash game.
Yeah.
You have to watch your enemy. It's going to be really close quarters combat. There's RPG stats. Oh, I just want it to be like as hard as Bloodborne. I want it to challenge me.
John's already sweating.
Maybe not as hard as Bloodborne, but like somewhere along those lines.
Someday I'll finish that when I'm 45.
I still haven't beaten it, so
Bloodborne?
right there with me. Yeah, I'm stuck on that last boss. I told you before.
I'm stuck on the spider. So.
Ooh, the spider sucks. I got to the end thing, and it gave you 3 options, and the one option I took was to have another boss, and I can't beat him.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's awful, man.
I'll have to pick the one where you don't take the boss.
Don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that. From yachtclubgames.com, the return of Spectre Knight and a revitalizing announcement. Welcome back, Shovel Team. Did you miss us? We missed you. We've remained hidden away, hard at work on new stretch goal updates and more, but figured this would be a great time to check in on where we're at. Lots of animated images ahead. So, set down your shovel and put those potions away. A new campaign is on the way, starring no other than the shadowy Spectre Knight. So, basically the whole thing on this post on Yacht Club's Games website, if you didn't know, they made Shovel Knight one of my favorite games, my game of the year 2 years ago. They're still making content for this, free content, by the way, in the likes of a whole nother campaign for one of the other bosses, which is Spectre Knight. And from the videos down here, he's got like a jump spin attack. He's got a giant sword thing that he slashes. It's like a scythe almost.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, they're making a physical release for the PlayStation Vita, which is really cool.
Sweet.
Have you played that Shovel Knight yet, John?
No, I need to.
You should get around to it. I think you would like it a lot.
No, I almost bought it, but then I was saving money for Lego Star Wars.
Next story might be a little bit of a bummer. You ready for this, John?
Yeah.
Give me some audio sound effects as we go through this. You ready? From GameSpot.com, it says, Zelda multiplayer could be next after Breath of the Wild.
No.
By Matt Padgett on June 24, 2016, it says, The Legend of Zelda series is no stranger to multiplayer games, and it looks like we could get a new one after Breath of the Wild. Franchise producer Eiji Aonuma says that he'd like to take another shot at making a multiplayer Zelda game. Quote, I would like to take what I learned from Breath of the Wild and see if we can somehow fuse those learning points into another multiplayer Zelda, end quote.
He's trying to make an MMO Zelda.
Yeah, there's not much else to read in this article, but I think this is even more to worry about with the new Zelda. If we didn't have enough to worry about already. Michael, did you watch the trailer for the new Zelda game?
I watched some intro.
Interest you at all?
I've never been a Zelda guy. Never actually played through any of the games. So they've always been kind of interesting, but
which games have you touched? You've never played a single Zelda game?
No.
Ever? Not even on the Game Boy?
No.
Holy.
I was Pokemon Sapphire all the way on the Game Boy. I don't think I ever played a different game.
Some of them are really
good.
good. Some of them are not.
Yeah, and I've watched Sean play and they seem really cool. I've just never gotten into them.
What are the 3 must-play Zelda games?
Ocarina, Link to the Past, probably Majora's Mask.
I go Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Link to the Past.
Oh, Wind Waker. I forgot.
Wind Waker was like the Zelda game for me, man.
Ocarina is a classic, though. You can't rule that out.
No, it's
I know you're not as big on it.
It is a classic. I think the story is better in Majora's Mask, but
I would agree.
Ocarina of Time is.
But Ocarina of Time reinvented 3D RPGs. So,
from Kotaku, Pokemon meets DC Comics and Teeny Titans. Have you looked at this yet, John?
I didn't buy it, though.
You haven't bought it yet? I thought about buying it today. I think we might have to after the show.
Okay.
Maybe. From Mike Fahey on yesterday, 11:30 a.m. Released this week for Android and iOS, Teeny Titans combines Cartoon Network's second-best Teen Titans show with the collect and battle mechanics of Pokemon to create something wonderful. A new toy sensation of sweeping Teen Titans Go animated nation, heroes, villains, talking dogs, and random annoying children are buying up to Teeny Titans, action figures, and putting them against each other in RPG-style battles. So you can watch the gameplay there on Kotaku, but basically it is very Pokemon-esque. You're looking down, you play as Robin, you collect these figures, you battle them, you have a squad, and then you fight against these people to get these new characters. Starfire, I don't know, half these people.
Cyborg, Beast Boy.
Apparently there's a Batgirl for 20,000 credits and stuff like that. Does this interest you at all?
I like Robin.
Yeah. I think it actually sounds kind of fun, even though I'm not a huge fan.
Is cool, but
I feel like you would have enjoyed it since you're a Teen Titans guy.
Yes, this is true. Maybe it's something to look into.
It is a free. It's not a freemium game. It's a premium game. So it costs $3, I think.
Probably
$3 on the App Store. No microtransactions. You got to earn everything yourself. But
earn this.
It looks kind of cool. I might pick it up. $3 is kind of cheap. I haven't had a game on my...
Especially without the whole transactional thing.
Yeah, sure.
I buy this many coins, yeah.
And I'm getting sick of Mattelmo. Even though I check it every single day. And today I have finally earned enough points to get WarioWare Touched. So just by checking your thing, clicking your free stuff, changing your outfits every single day, I got enough coins on my Nintendo.com I have a free 3DS game now. So It's been worth it.
Is that game any good?
I love the Wario. Have you ever played a WarioWare game?
Yeah.
It's just like the mini games set to music, and then you have to complete them in a certain time. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you. All right. Here we go. From IGN.com, Star Wars Battlefront may get an offline instant action mode. From Michael Pasalaquata, I'm going to say. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Michael. I'm sorry. Star Wars Battlefront may be getting a much requested feature, offline instant action. The offline mode was uncovered by Reddit user uninspired_zebra, who posted their findings to both a Reddit thread and a YouTube video, which you can watch below. As you can see, the video showcases hidden menus that allow players to play Walker Assault and Fighter Squadron offline in a solo session or with a friend. Although the YouTube videos do look convincing, it's important to note that offline instant action has yet to be confirmed by EA, so take this news with a grain of salt.
That'd be cool.
Will this save Battlefront?
No.
Exactly.
But it's cool.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a step in the right direction.
They're slowly building towards a complete game. We're at like 45% right now. So
yeah, seriously. Have you picked up that Bespin?
I haven't even touched it.
Haven't touched it. It's out now for everyone, right?
Been watching Lost. Yeah. No,
it's not out for everyone. I thought it was out.
I thought Season Pass was 2 weeks before it came out. I could be wrong though. No, I haven't even touched it.
Me neither. I haven't bought a single piece of DLC for that game, and I don't plan to.
Too bad I don't care about that
That's
game.
pretty sad.
Too bad I don't care.
Two of the biggest Star Wars fans I know are not even touching the DLC.
The thing is that, like, and I don't know if you agree with me. Maybe you don't, maybe you will. Who knows? When that game came out, I was so fucking gung-ho about that game, man. If they would have put that DLC out a month after, I would have bought it hook, line, and sinker. That game hooked me for like 3 months, and then it was just out the door. From Gamatsu.com, new Sonic the Hedgehog game out in 2017. New Sonic game will be coming out in 2017. Sonic Team boss Takashi Izuka revealed during an anniversary celebration. Not much to reveal here, but there you go. Another Sonic game.
He's going to get some rings. He's going to spin around some stuff.
Bring, bring.
It's going to be fun.
There's going to be some music.
There's going to be some rockin' music.
It's going to be a hedgehog and a bunch of animals. Now, the last story we have here from alwaysnintendo.com. Rumors of NX cartridge use fueled by Zelda trademark filing. Now, were you aware that there was a rumor that the NX might be using cartridges?
I was.
There's been some more proof about that being probable. A new trademark listing for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild seems to add fuel to the notion that the upcoming NX platform will indeed use game cartridges. Like Wii U games, it mentions, quote, video game discs, end quote, as part of its category of goods and services. But it also specifies video game cartridges, something not included in any Wii U game listing prior. Under the thing from Legend of Zelda, it says, word mark, IC 009, all this business stuff. But it does say video game cartridges, video game discs, video game memory cards, video game programs, video game software. And they have a bunch of examples here. For Wii U, like Captain Toad, it does not say video game cartridges anywhere in it. Pokemon Moon, video game cartridges, because that's
obviously
Nintendo 3DS. Rumors of late has suggested the NX will drop the optical drive in favor of ROM cartridges. These carts will be based on Macronix 32. I don't know any of this stuff. in sizes up to 32 gigs. With Nintendo itself not talking, nothing will remain certain about the ROM cartridge notion until the system's reveal. Now, there's a number here that's really interesting to me: 32 gigs. Michael, how many gigs would you say The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is?
About twice that.
I'd say around 50 to 60.
Yeah.
And NBA 2K?
NBA with the deal, like with all the updates and stuff like that, is close to 59. Jeez. GTA 5 is in the 60s. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Fallout 4.
So you're looking at huge. I don't know, man.
There is no way in hell this console is more powerful than any console in the market. If these rumors are true.
No, but it'd be more powerful than like a Wii.
It'd be more.
Golf clap.
And that's
golf
that's
clap.
That's like no, but like that's what they're trying to improve on their own stuff. Like we all know they're not going to be able to compete with PlayStation and Xbox in terms of space and graphics and stuff like that. They're just building
games.
They're just building upon all that they have.
Yeah,
and so, like, if
guess.
you think about it, like, how much space does a Wii U game take up? 9 gigs at maximum, depending on how big the game is. So, like, saying that there's a cartridge that has 32 gigs of space is pretty significant in Wii and Nintendo standards.
I think about, PS4 is selling really well. Xbox is following it. If Nintendo is betting all their cards on going into this and making a new game console, wouldn't you think that they want to sort of like compete against the competition?
Right, but their game styles are all different. Like the games that they produce are so much different, so much more different.
So why does that mean that their console shouldn't be as powerful as the competitor?
I'm not saying it's not as powerful as the competitor. I'm saying it's more powerful for their standards because their standards are a lot lower in terms of power.
But the whole thing is that like the Wii U fucking flopped because it had no third-party support. NBA 2K16 isn't on the Wii U. Skyrim Remastered sure as hell isn't coming to the Wii U.
Amen.
That console.
But would you, if it was as powerful as the PlayStation, would you want to buy those games for a Nintendo console anyway?
No, but for the kids, for the kids that it is selling to, like
they can't play those games. They could play NBA.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of young kids play Skyrim. It's just you have to have an adult buy it for you. It's not just that, though.
There's no way they do well in it.
Yeah. I'd love to see stats. But then I
did pretty well. I did pretty well.
You weren't a kid, Michael.
That's 2011. I was 15. I mean, 2 years too young.
You're practically a man.
I mean, look at...
You're already fucking horse and drinking beers.
Look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the most successful shooter. Battlefield is a successful shooter. And neither of those games come to Wii U.
No,
it's like
they used to come to Wii though.
That's true. I had Modern Warfare 1 on the Wii just because I thought it'd be funny to have it. It was awful.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the worst.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're trying to get third-party games anymore. I think they're trying to just focus on what they could do well with their exclusives.
I just think that's
because I think they know that no one's going to buy their console to play the next the next Spider-Man Sony PlayStation 4 game. Because obviously, I mean, that's exclusive. That's a bad example.
But the sales showed that's why the Wii U failed, is because it had a high attach rate for Nintendo properties like Mario and Smash Brothers and Mario.
I guess, as a personal opinion of mine, I just want the Nintendo games to play well on that Nintendo console.
I agree.
And then I'm buying everything else on PlayStation.
Right.
I could care less if Call of Duty plays well on the Wii or the NX because I'm not going to buy it for that system.
I'm just trying to think in terms of Nintendo's success as a company, right? Because
there is no way that it's going to be successful.
No, because the business model that you're saying right there, where you're like, I just want them to make great games, but I'm going to buy every other good game on.
But that's just me as a consumer.
I know, but there are thousands like you. There are millions like you.
Okay, but there's no way you can save that company. There's no way.
3 words. Pokemon 4 consoles.
But that is a Nintendo exclusive. So they can do that with what they're producing.
But I'm talking like if you put Pokemon
you can play
on the
it for
Wii U,
the PlayStation?
Yeah. Well, no, we're talking about Pokemon on the Wii U.
We're not talking about the Wii U. We're talking about the NX.
No. We're talking about both. We're talking about Nintendo as a company right now. Because I agree with you 100%. If a Pokemon game was announced for the NX and they were like, yo, look, it comes out on launch, it's fully 3D, it's fully realized, it's a huge open world, MMO, play with your friends.
And it's 10 gigs because it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah. Yep. I still think people would go out in droves just because Pokemon's a
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a
Nintendo game.
Yeah, I'm just saying that that's not going to be...
They've lost their third-party audience. It's pointless.
I agree.
Because they don't have the dominant system anymore. And part of the reason, I know what you're saying is they should try to develop the dominant system, but there's just light years away of catching up to those guys.
Then I think that the smart move in that terms is to not make a console. They're obviously spending tons of money to make the NX and develop it and have smart people working on the innards and mass producing it. Yada, 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 making a controller, dedicating time. They're holding Zelda for the NX. Yeah. I just don't think it's worth it. And I'm agreeing with you in that terms. If their whole thing is to focus on their games, don't make the NX. Put Mario on the PlayStation. Give it trophies. For the love of God. Yeah. I'd lose my life.
It's a sinking ship. They're just trying to stay afloat, man. They're just trying to stay afloat. And by their standards, they could, by giving a cartridge that holds 32 gigs of space and making a better Nintendo game. But I will agree with you. They're not going to be able to catch up to these other systems. Because that would defeat, like what Nintendo is. There's a vast difference between playing a Zelda game and playing Fallout 4.
Oh my god.
Both in terms of story and time and space and stuff like that. And it's they're just completely different genres. And the Nintendo genre is just so much more different. Like, it was revolutionary at its time, but now it's more of like a nostalgic.
Oh, I 100% agree.
All that it is. And that's why I want the NX to be good for Nintendo, but I won't buy anything but Nintendo games for it.
Yeah. And that's just if they had you in a focus group and they were testing, they would look at your data results and be like, shit.
Yeah. Well, I hope they're listening.
We can't have that. Well, yeah.
Because I'm right.
Hey, Miyamoto, again, I didn't predict the name of the game right. We'd still like to talk with you. We wouldn't understand a thing you're saying, but we could probably get a translator, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Whoever that person was at the Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah, the guy in the
4-year demonstration for that game.
All right, moving on to this week's big topic. You like that?
Yeah, that was funny.
We got a lot of Star Wars and Justice League stuff. First, let's cruise through the Star Wars stuff because I don't want to hold up too much on this. And John's got a lot of Justice League stuff that he can probably throw at us, put his big dick on the table.
Sure.
From EW.com, Entertainment Weekly. Before Luke fired the blast that detonated the Death Star, before Leia launched R2-D2 into a remote desert with secret plans for that battle station, someone had to locate and steal those schematics. Turns out, it was a team effort. In this week's issue of Entertainment Weekly, we bring you it. All right, that's good. All right. All right. So here you go. There's the cover. You can go to Entertainment Weekly. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Bless you.
You can go to entertainmentweekly.com and you can see the cover. The big news is that on the cover on the front page in big bold letters is Darth Vader is back.
Woo!
There you go.
Thanks for ruining the reveal.
Yeah. I think it was pretty fucking obvious. You'll never see that in a trailer, though. If they play their cards right, you will never see Darth Vader until you sit down in that theater to watch Rogue One.
Which is what they're doing.
Unless Zack Snyder WB was behind this.
He's not.
Can you imagine if they announced Zack Snyder is the one that's directing the third anthology?
I like Zack Snyder.
I'm a huge fan of his older films.
But I would be mad because I don't want him touching my baby, which is Star Wars. Don't touch my baby.
Jawas v Ewoks.
Okay, I would pay to see that. I would pay so much money to see that. That would be the best movie in the world. You got ion blasters versus arrows. Who's coming out on top? Who's coming out on top?
The audience is coming out on top.
Wrong. The Sand People.
Oh.
They always travel single file. You never know they were coming. You think it's one guy. It's not. It's a whole pack of them, and they're going to kill you with gaffy sticks. I'm ready.
And in greater numbers.
All right, Zach. Radiovania is writing a script.
Yeah.
For Ewoks v Jawas, Dawn of the Sand People.
Okay.
It's happening. Workshopping title TBD.
Well, I say Dawn of the Star Wars. Ewoks v it's like creation.
It's the first BC.
War.
Yeah,
it's the first Star War.
It's the first war.
Guys,
we got something brewing here, and I'm loving it. All right, let's dive into this. Whatever this Rogue One.
Again, from EW, there's a gallery, and it's the Rogue One 22 new photos from the Star Wars film.
So good.
So we're going to go through each one of these photos, and I'm going to script through.
Sure.
I want you to, including Michael, because you haven't barely talked.
Contribute a little more. Here we go. All right.
Tell me what you guys are seeing. Here's the first photo.
Death Troopers.
Yeah, we got
that's what they're called?
They're called Death Troopers, bro.
No. They're running across the beach.
They look badass as shit. And I'm excited. And I just like that the settings, you know what I'm really excited about? Is because for some reason there's a formulaic thing with Star Wars where it has to be a desert, forest, or an ice planet. And we have a beach planet, motherfuckers. Get your Mai Tais ready.
Hello.
It's time to go. The rebels are all going to be wearing tropical shirts. They're going to have sunglasses because it's bright outside. I'm ready. And look, it looks like D-Day. Like they're coming out of the water.
It does look like D-Day.
It's awesome.
It looks very safe in Private Ryan.
According to what they've talked about in the article, the Death Troopers have one purpose, and that is to hunt down their target and kill them. So they're basically bounty hunters that are created by the Empire. And I'm really excited to see what they do because I think that's going to be like the next Nazgul from Lord of the Rings.
But John, we've as the studio, we've decided that it's not happy enough and friendly enough. So what we're doing is we're making the black stormtroopers. We're going to give them pink outfits instead, and they're going to be the prayer circle droid, stormtroopers.
The faith militant.
They gotta give you hugs. Yeah.
We've hired the guy that plays the High Sparrow to come and be the lit.
Let's pretend this is a perfect world and this movie's going to be amazing. For
let's
5 minutes.
pretend.
All right, next.
Jyn Erso.
Still looks hot.
Right, in Imperial clothes, armor.
There's a lot of people that think that this scene where she turns around and looks at the door opening is Vader walking in.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be full-on boner.
Now, Ben Mendelsohn's director, the guy, Ben Mendelsohn is the actor, right?
Yes.
His character name...
Krennic.
Orson Krennic.
Orson Krennic, there you go.
Director Krennic. That is boss.
What do you think about it?
I'm excited. I mean, obviously, I liked the design. It was very reminiscent of Grand Admiral Thrawn in the novels and stuff like that. Yeah. I think he'll be much like that character. From what I've heard, though, he's kind of like trying to please the hierarchy of the Empire, which is the Emperor and Vader.
Right, because, I mean, director isn't a military role, so he's a non-military...
And I don't think they're copying, like, the Hux-Kylo Ren relationship where they're competing. I think this is more of, like, he wants to stand out from Tarkin, is my theory. Because I think Tarkin's, like, top dog in terms of Imperial officers, as we know from the original Star Wars. I think this guy has different motives for doing things, and I'm excited to see what he does. I hope he's a fantastic villain. I hope
so too.
He looks like he could be. So,
all right. So you got these two guys.
I don't know their names, but I know what they're about, and that's rebellion.
Donnie Yen from Ip Man plays Chirrut Imwe, a blind warrior monk who is not a Jedi but follows the path of the Force, and then Jiang Wen. From Devils on the Doorstep co-stars as Baze Malbus.
Have you noticed the Star Wars names are getting weirder and weirder? It's like they're putting letters in a letter generator and they're just
throw some vowels in there.
Yeah, this would look really cool.
Yeah, describe what we're seeing.
We got some stormtroopers waiting in the surf of the ocean. Again, going with the beach theme.
Right,
it
looks like the same planet, shallow water, sand that the Death Troopers are on.
Rogue One is a luau. Make no mistake, the Emperor is roasting some pork with Darth Vader, and the Rogue and the freaking rebels are trying to crash this party. That's what this movie is.
Now, this is one of the more weirder ones.
I've seen this. I don't think it's weird. I think it's funny.
Okay, so, Michael, tell me what we're seeing right here.
So you see, I mean, the label says Death Troopers on a tundra. I think it looks more kind of almost volcanic. So I think this could be an extension of the beach planet. We're looking at like a Hawaii planet, basically.
This is Lost with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a beach, like kind of tropical planet, and I think this is kind of a volcanic ash area.
Yeah, what's he holding?
Is that a Stormtrooper doll?
It's an action figure. They're bringing in marketing within marketing. It's marketing inception.
Interesting.
So basically what I think is they're at like a homestead of some sorts, and it's like Mulan where they find the doll. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like, why wouldn't there be, like, think about it. You have army men, right? We used to play with those when we were kids and stuff like that. Why wouldn't, in the Star Wars galaxy, why wouldn't they have stormtroopers and, like, insurgents or whatever you want to call it?
True.
Which are the rebellion.
That's interesting.
That's how I took it, at least. And I'm excited about it. I got a full-on hard one for this movie, and I think we all know. So...
K2SO in detail. This is Alan Tudyk's droid.
iRobot 2.0.
Yeah. What do you think about the character design?
I like it. It's plain. So I think they hacked it or something, or they stole it. You know. But I'm excited because Alan Tudyk is the man.
Let's skip to these.
Here's Death Troopers with flames.
Flames behind them.
That's the album cover. There's Han Solo.
Yeah, new Han Solo and
the Mexican Han Solo.
Hispanic Solo.
Sorry.
Juan Solo.
Are
there any more really cool ones?
It's just more pics of the characters that are going to be in this. There's a crash.
Oh, look, helicopter. Very
cool. Some production stills and stuff like that.
Yeah, most of the photos they're releasing are from this beach planet. So yeah, I wonder how much of the movie takes place on this planet.
I mean, is that where the plans are? Is that like a huge battle that takes place that they're trying to get away from so that they can go get the plans? Maybe the rebel base was on that planet. Like, people have been thinking it's on Yavin, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's on a different place, and then they flee, and the rogue squadron goes to find the Death Star plans. This is all speculation. I'm sure we'll find out in a couple months when the movie comes out, but I mean, it looks cool. The big news story, though, still is the fact that they revealed that Darth Vader is coming back in wording, which was a lot of speculation beforehand, but I was more kind of hoping that they would just, like, have him be in the movie, not talk about him at all,
right?
And then just have us experience it. But I'm still glad that they haven't shown him.
Yep.
I'm still glad.
And the last Star Wars thing we got, still from Entertainment Weekly, in terms of the controversy with the reshoot concerns.
Reshoot-gate?
Yeah. They asked the filmmakers, and especially Gareth Edwards, the director, was candid about the situation and even acknowledged in an interview that he was due back on set in the morning. Quote, "I mean, it was always part of the plan to do reshoots. We always knew we were coming back somewhere to do stuff. We just didn't know what it would be until we started sculpting the film in the edit." End quote. What's the nature of the material being shot? Quote, he says, "There's lots of little things that we have to get, but it's all little things within the pre-existing footage," end quote. So he's making some pretty big steps to say that this is clearly a don't worry situation, but I'm still worried.
Until I see it, I can't judge what's going on. I mean, if you think about it, every blockbuster movie has reshoots. Every big thing they want to make sure it's pristine before it comes out.
It was just the weird quotes that
it was
Disney...
the fact that they phrased it and the way that they're like, it's going to do 4 weeks, and it's just like, wow, that seems like a lot of time.
But the whole thing was that they were saying, like, to make the tone different. That's why the reshoots were for, and it's just like...
I don't know if that was just like a bad quote or something, but we'll find out. I mean, it's a bad quote for speculation purposes, but we'll see.
From IGN.com, the Justice League logo and synopsis is revealed. So there's a logo.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, no thoughts?
Looks like the new Star Trek logo.
Is it reminiscent of any classic Justice League thing?
Nope, not at all.
Here's the synopsis. I'm going to read it in my movie theater voice. You ready?
Do it.
Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Pierce, to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to find and recruit a team of meta-humans to stand against this newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and The Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions. Who cares?
That was a bad description. Not on your part, but the way that they wrote it was just like... First off, I think it's interesting that they phased out having a 7th Justice League member. There's always been 7, and they phased...
Wasn't the whole tagline Reunite the 7?
Yeah, and now they phased out Green Lantern. I think because they're having issues with that movie and casting a Green Lantern to be in their cinematic universe, per se.
Interesting.
So they totally phased that out. So now there's 6, including Superman, who is, spoilers alert, dead, quote, unquote. Yeah, so the big set visit happened. I'm actually excited from what I heard about, but I'm sure Zach has some completely different opinions on it.
No, a lot of the stuff I've been reading sounds fun. They're talking about lighter tones, obviously. I'm about to read a
paradigm shift from Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
From
Ultimate Cut.
Let me find this guy here. Steve Weintraub from Collider.com wrote an article about his set visit to Justice League. And he says, quote, "Trust me when I say Justice League looks completely different than Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Sure, the characters are the same. Yes, Snyder is still directing. And yes, the look and feel of the world Snyder has created hasn't changed. But what's being said by the characters and the way they're reacting to situations is a complete 180. The easiest way to convey this change is when I saw more people smiling on screen watching Justice League in one day than all of Batman v Superman in its entirety," end quote. So it really just looks like a whole paradigm. Yeah, like you said, a paradigm shift in tone, which is interesting. So, John, tell me a little bit about what you've read, what you've seen about the Justice League. Are you feeling good about this at all?
I am, actually. I like the tone shift because, I mean, let's be honest, having a guy that runs fast, a guy who's half robot, a guy who dresses up as a bat and like a Greek goddess, and a guy who talks to fish fight aliens. It's hard.
That was a great synopsis. I really appreciated that.
It's hard to sell in a serious tone like the Dark Knight trilogy or something like that. So when they tried to do that with Batman v Superman, it obviously didn't work.
No, not at all.
So why wouldn't you try something else the way it was meant to be, the way it's always been?
I just don't think the tone of the film and the darkness of the film was the problem.
It's the writing. And we still don't know if the writing's bad for this movie or not. However, the things that I've heard about how they shifted sounds interesting, you know. So like they showed some people some scenes that they've had, like interactions between Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen, the Flash, and stuff like that. And I actually was really skeptical about Ezra Miller as the Flash because I'm so attached to the TV show with Grant Gustin. But after hearing all these rumors, I'm really excited about him as the Flash. He sounds like he's the Flash.
Have you seen anything else that Ezra Miller's in?
Perks of a Wallflower, but I haven't seen anything else besides that.
Interesting. How was he in that?
He's good. Yeah. It's like a coming-of-age movie type deal. But, I mean, I'm really excited for him. Cyborg sounds like... I mean, they're going to do the CGI for the suit, which there's no other way to do that than doing CGI because he's like a fourth human. But it sounds like Ben Affleck is more on board, you know, or at least he's seeming like he's on board.
Hello, darkness.
Yeah, Sad Affleck still going to haunt him for a while. But, I mean, I like how Darkseid isn't the villain in this movie, which leaves them room to develop him like the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done with Thanos, because, like, Darkseid's pretty much as big as you can get in the DC Universe. So to blow your load in your third movie, or I guess this will be the fifth movie when it comes out, would be kind of pointless. Because, I mean, you have Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's right, Suicide Squad.
But they still haven't built up towards him enough. They just, like, drop hints that there's the whole apocalypse coming type deal.
Yeah.
So it's this general Steppenwolf who they tease in that communion thing. And a lot of people were speculating if that's him or not. It's confirmed that it is. He's a great villain. He's just a big, bad monster type general who leads the army of the parademons, which are in the nightmare sequence in BVS. So
interesting.
I like how they're incorporating mythology and history because that's kind of DC's backbone as opposed to Marvel. So they have the ancient Atlanteans, the Amazonians, and the humans, which have always been the three factions that aren't like outside of Earth, obviously. And so what they've talked about is there's the mother boxes, which we've talked about in the BVS thing, and
seen in the hit film Batman v Superman.
Yeah, and we kind of touched on those little bits. That seems like to be kind of the central plot of this movie is going to resolve around those. And I really hope this movie is good. I just want to enjoy it when I go to see it. But from what I've heard, it sounds really interesting. It sounds like a comic book movie, which is cool because I kind of wanted DC to stay that way. But they got a lot of work ahead of them to recover from what they lost with BVS. Because I thought Man of Steel was great, and BVS was a huge backstep.
Yeah, I thought the reactions to Man of Steel were over dramatized.
It was. I like that movie a lot. I think it's a great Superman story.
I don't think the reactions to BVS were over dramatized.
No,
like we had the discussion. We came off it. You were like, I enjoyed it more than the reviewers, and then like it was the scenario with me in a lot of movies recently, like. We were talking about it with Godzilla earlier today, and it's like the farther I get away from that movie, the more I realized how much I didn't like it. But
I don't by any means hate it because it's still a foundational piece to build upon.
Sure.
You can just build upon it a different way.
And I watched, I'm waiting to watch the super cut with you this week.
Which won't
when we do.
sway our opinion on the film at all.
Yeah, we'll see. But I did watch the scene, someone put it up on Reddit with the extended warehouse scene with the Batman fight. Have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. Good? It's only slightly altered. There's maybe like 2 minutes of extra footage in the warehouse fight.
That's a lot of minutes.
I don't know.
It's still a great scene. That's still a great scene, though.
There's some unnecessary blood. I don't know. It's
awesome.
Just it's cool.
Batman
it's cool.
ripping out people's throats.
No, the way that they do it, you're going to really appreciate. I would love to spoil it for you, but I want you to see it when you see it the first time. Screen.
Yeah, that movie was completely revealed in all their trailers.
Yeah,
and so I'm actually going forward with DC. I'm trying to kind of stay as far away as possible. But
hopefully Suicide Squad is not as revealing as there.
I don't think anything from the articles that they've talked about the Justice League set have been that too spoilery because I think they're holding a lot in the latter half of the film. This sounds like all things that are kind of like exposition plot points.
God, I hope those... whenever the Justice League trailers do come out, even Wonder Woman, when those trailers come out, God, I hope that they don't talk about anything.
Just make them like the Suicide Squad trailers. They don't talk about a whole lot in those.
Yeah, we still don't know who the villain is, quote unquote. I mean, I guess it's the Joker, but...
It's coming... Well, we'll see. People like him enough that, like, I don't know. We'll see. He might be like an anti-hero.
Yeah. That movie's just not going to be very good, and John, it's going to hurt you real bad.
It's really, really bad.
All right, that's it for the big stories of the week. John, let's transition over to Comic Book Shop Talk Volume 2, right?
Yes.
You want to introduce this one for me? Maybe try to keep it a little brief since we're...
I will. There's not a whole lot to talk about this week, so...
Cool. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Okay, so Comic Shop Talk Volume 2. Last week we did this. We had a lot of fun with it. Basically, I just went through what came out a couple weeks ago, and that's basically what I'm going to do this time. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to read next. So this week coming out were some of the Rebirth titles that I'm not as passionate about, but I still picked up because I want to see if the stories get good. So first off, we got Detective Comics, which is the branch off of Batman, where he's building his team of Batmen to fight. Basically, it seemed a lot like Arkham Knight to me. They were preparing for an army of like a militia of sorts. I actually enjoyed this better than the first Detective comic that came out a couple weeks ago, so I might actually keep checking this story out, and I'm a huge fan of the artwork.
Now, which is the one? Which is the Batman comic where he's saving the plane?
That was Batman.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is about Batman and a lot of other people, whereas Batman is just about him.
Okay.
Action Comics, Superman's fighting Doomsday. Not a whole lot. It's just a lot of action. That's why it's Action Comics. The Flash.
I'm dead inside.
Great artwork. For what they're doing with the story, I have no idea. It's kind of weird. I guess another one of his friends is going to be a speedster, because that's all you can do with the Flash is have people get hit by lightning. I just want him to fight Reverse Flash. I'm hoping that makes an appearance, because Reverse Flash is even on the cover, and he's not in the books. So I'm confused. What are you doing? Wonder Woman. Not going to lie, this is pretty bad.
Cover's not
the best part was the end, when it reveals that she was looking for her arch nemesis Cheetah in the jungle, because she's trying to find her home. And because of the whole rebirth thing... Yeah, so the whole rebirth thing is like her memories are split, and she has her original pre-New 52 and then her New 52 memories. And so she's trying to figure out how to get home because she doesn't remember. So she's going to enlist the help of her arch nemesis, the Cheetah. But I could literally care less about anybody in that book besides Wonder Woman, and it was kind of a waste of time. Aquaman. This was pretty sweet, I'm not going to lie. I actually just like Aquaman because his villain, Black Manta, is a baller. And they're starting it out right with just having Black Manta hunt down Aquaman and his wife, Mira, or I guess his fiancée, Mira. Basically, Aquaman's trying to lead a political kind of like summit to do relations between the humans and the Atlanteans. And it looks cool. Black Manta just infiltrating. That's a great piece right there.
Who is the, Michael, who was the villain to Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? We got that? Man Ray?
Man Ray. That's what he's based off of, yeah. So it's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I actually liked Aquaman. I can't say I'm going to check it out long term, but it's cool.
Cool.
Scooby-Doo Apocalypse 2.
Oh, yeah. I love the Apocalypse.
It's good. I'm a huge fan of the story. It's a nice twist on a classic group of people that we all love and care about.
This is really thick. There's a lot of comic.
So basically, Rebirth, the 299s, these are running at about 25 pages average. And then you have other books like Scooby-Doo, which are in like the 30s and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Oh, Velma.
I wish...
Oh, Velma.
Yeah, seriously. I wish Jim Lee was actually doing the art for these, but otherwise I think it's an interesting premise. Like, that was an interesting group of characters to place in a super popular post-apocalyptic world.
Apparently they're fighting Rathtars in this scene right here.
Yeah, with giant butthole mouth things. And then let's go into Marvel real quick. No Civil War 2 this week, just side stories. One of which is Spider-Man, one of which is X-Men. Both really fun to read. I'm a huge fan of Peter Parker as Spider-Man, as we all know, so that was a good time. Basically, in Spider-Man Civil War 2 #1, which I recommend you all pick up, he's hanging out with the Inhuman that's been the huge debate between Captain Marvel and Iron Man. And then in X-Men #1, Magneto and Storm are splitting their group of the X-Men in half, with Nightcrawler officially leaving the X-Men to join up with Magneto because they disagree about whether they should fight the Inhumans, who are the reasons for this whole civil war, or protect them.
Who is this lovely
That's
woman?
Jean Grey.
Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner. And then real quick to finish out the single issue stuff, Spider-Man Deadpool, #1.
That sounds fun.
So fun. It's just great to read. Their interactions are great. Deadpool is trying to hire Spider-Man to be his sidekick, and Spider-Man wants absolutely nothing to do with Deadpool because all Deadpool does is cause problems and use bad language. They go to hell and back to fight some of Doctor Strange villains.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. And then lastly with Marvel, we have The Force Awakens. They're officially doing a comic on it. If you've seen the movie, then you know what happens in the story. So why would you pay?
It's the same exact thing.
So why would you pay $5 for it? Besides to support the comic industry, which is exactly why I paid for it. The artwork is cool, but like it just makes me want to watch the movie because I can get the full story and I don't have to wait a month for the next issue. Like the cliffhanger is really funny. The cliffhanger in this book is like, the garbage will do, and you're like, just do the Falcon thing. That's what I'm here for. But it was good. I liked it.
Cool. All right, tell me about the big one this week.
This is the big one.
Tell me about the big one.
I sent this out on Twitter.
Yeah, and on a nice grammatical tweet there on the second one there.
Yeah, thank you. Huge fan of this book. Can't talk about it enough. I previewed this on the last Comic Shop talk. This is Dark Knight, a true Batman story, written by Paul Dini, who is the man who wrote the Batman animated series, as well as some of the side movies involved with that series. It's the true story of his mugging in Los Angeles in '93, but there's a twist on it, which I talked about, where it's his favorite cartoon characters and characters that he used to write for Warner Brothers kind of talking to him on his shoulder and stuff like that. So it's like the angel on one and the devil on the other. It's a beautifully drawn piece by Eduardo Rizzo. It's produced by Vertigo Comics, which I wanted to correct myself. Last week I said it was Image. I was incorrect about that. It's actually Vertigo. They produce a wonderful piece. I read this first. I picked it up. I paid the full price for it. I didn't want to Amazon it because I wanted to support the writer because I'm a huge fan of his. And I sat down on my porch and I read the whole thing. I couldn't put it down. It was just a beautiful piece. Is very emotionally moving. As a Batman fan, as a fan of comic books, Zach is totally botching my speech right now.
I'm so sorry. I'm putting it down.
But it's really good.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to loan it. I'm going to loan it to Zach because I want him to read it.
I want to read it
ASAP. It's fantastic. That's all I can say about it.
I like the Joker design in this right here. I like the cover design here.
Incredibly good.
Now, is this going to be part of an ongoing story? Is it just it's completely one-off?
It's just a one-shot.
Do you feel like this is going to go down with the echelon of Batman comics, like The Killing Joke or Death in the Family, where
I think it could. This is more of like a self-discovery type story, though. This isn't a Batman story. This is about Paul Dini with Batman as the accent to it. So it's not like set in Gotham City or anything like that. It's just a good story about a man who is really down on his luck, who isn't sure of what he is, and he needs some motivation, and he gets it from the person that he looks up to the most, which is a fictional character, and it's Batman.
Now, during this, maybe this goes into detail in the book, but was he currently writing Batman while this was taking place? Like
he was in the middle of writing Mask of Phantasm.
Oh, really?
When he got beat up.
Wow.
And they wanted him to come in because Paul Dini wrote every Joker episode and every Harley Quinn episode in the animated series.
For my fish, of course.
Yeah, and as you know, in Mask of Phantasm, the Joker is a huge part of that, and he's supposed to write all the Joker scenes, and he just couldn't get into writing about a villain as dark as the Joker when he was so scared of everything around him from after getting beat up. And he just lost complete faith in himself. He felt like a loser. He felt like if anyone really cared about him, why weren't they there to help him, including Batman? And like he's like, how can I write about a hero who's supposed to save people when no one was there to save me? So it's
a great idea for a story.
It is a fantastic idea, and it's a fantastic book. It's just a good piece of fiction.
When you were telling me
this, I guess it's like historical fiction or nonfiction even.
When you were telling me this whole story, I was thinking like, what would be so cool is to have like HBO do a one-off like hour and a half special based on this story or like some sort of publication. I'd love to see like a drama.
Or even like an animated cartoon about it.
Sure.
With Warner Brothers Studios.
Sure. We'll see how The Killing Joke does.
We'll see. But it's I can't stress it enough. Please go check this out. Support both the artist and the writer, who I'm huge fans of.
Yep.
Also support Vertigo Comics. They're obviously not heavy hitters like Marvel and DC, but they got some good stuff out there. It's an indie comic brand. But it's a great story, and I really just want everyone to read it. Even if you're not a huge comic fan, if you have any ties to Batman or even just like a dark personal story in your life that you really felt down about it, so I think it's a good thing to get you out of that.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yep.
Very much.
And then to close Comic Shop Talk Volume 2, my preview for the next book I'm reading is a prequel to the famous Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, and this is a story, again, about how the Joker killed Robin.
Spoilers!
Seriously. But, I mean, everybody knows that he dies at some point or other. In The Dark Knight Returns, the new Robin is the woman named Carrie Kelly, who is, I think, a great sidekick character to Frank Miller's Batman. And this is the story about... I haven't read it yet, so I don't know which Robin it is, whether it be Dick Grayson or Jason Todd or Tim Drake. But it's how Joker killed Robin before the events of Dark Knight Returns took place, where he gets thrown into Arkham Asylum and stuff like that for however many years Batman's retired for.
Wow.
I'm a huge fan of the Dark Knight thing is going on right now. There's Dark Knight 3 coming out, which is okay. But I like, so far the artwork looks really cool, and Frank Miller, he's very passionate about writing his Batman trilogy, so...
Cool.
This would be an interesting story, and I saw it and I was like, this is an interesting graphic novel for $6. So, yeah, I'll pick it up.
All right. Does that close it out?
That closes it out, yeah.
And then that's it for this week's episode of Radiovania. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys.
Thanto joining us, Michael.
Always happy, Michael.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for those of you that don't already know the plugs, time to ba. You can go to radiovania.com to watch all of our videos. Subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like, comment, do whatever you want on the YouTube. It's really easy, I promise. Just go to the red button and click on it like you're, like you would go to Facebook and like a status. Go to the subscribe button and do that. It's really easy, I promise. You can also send us an email at radiovaniashow@gmail.com. You can tweet me at Zachratello. You can tweet John at @JohnParker. You can also tweet the show at Radiovania. Michael, John, thank you very much for being on this episode of Radiovania. This was episode number 21.
Legal
now. We can start drinking.
Where do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything? I'm just going to end it on that.
Of course.